In 1966, a young man only 21 years old and newly married was sent off to fight in Vietnam. Like many others fighting, he was fit, vibrant, and filled with hopes and dreams of a bright future. But on April 26, 1967, the explosion of a landmine made his visions go very blind.
My name is Howard Myers. I am a blinded Vietnam veteran. This is my story, BlindVision.
Upon returning home, Howard faced depression and the fear of the unknown. After his rehabilitation, he found himself searching for a job and a way to fit back into society. Through a newspaper article written about his loss of sight and search for employment, he was hired by Massachusetts Mutual Life Insurance Company. In July of 1969, his first contract year, he became the number 2 sales agent in the United States. The following year, he was awarded the Oscar of Salesmanship at Detroit's Ford Auditorium in front of 5,000 people. Within 2 years, Howard had succeeded in his new career as a blind man in a sighted industry, but he did not stop there.
I always believed after I lost my eyesight that I wanted to continue living in a sighted world as much as I possibly could. Water skiing was always one of my interests, and playing golf and running and lifting weights. And I've tried to live in a sighted world as much as I possibly can with the limitations I have of having to live in darkness.
Unbeknownst to Howard, his love of running would become much more influential, an inspiration to thousands.
As director of the Crim 10-mile road race, I received a call in 1983 from a man named Howard Meyer telling me that he was a Vietnam vet who had been blinded in the war and that he firmly believed he could run the Crim 10-miler if he were tethered to another runner. When I saw him coming down the chutes, they were both totally exhausted, and it almost looked like they were dragging each other. But they collapsed in each other's arms after they crossed the finish line. You just got the impact of what kind of courage and what kind of problems they had out there on that course. It was inspiring. Howard has influenced the Crim in so many different ways. Besides the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that he has raised in pledged dollars, we have actually, in Special Olympics, been able to introduce year-round training and year-round competition because of people like Howard. But the spirit that he has given this race, and he is the Crim. It's very, very difficult to think of the Crim and not think of Howard.
I'll tell you, it's the most fantastic thing that ever happened to me. As Bobby said, I felt great the first 5 and got through the hills great. And then about the 6 and 7 mile mark, the heat started to hit me, and Bobby just kept saying, "You got it, Howard." And I kept believing him, and we finished, and I just thank God for it.
I'll tell you, he's the guy that inspires me and a lot of other people, and I'm so happy about what's happened to this race. It's going to be the biggest one we've had, both in money and people, and it's a big one for me to run with a guy like Howard Myers, I'll tell you.
Howard had another blind vision, to run on his own. He prayed for an answer.
I met Howard in 1987 when we bought our house and we moved in there. The inspiration for the track probably come from early childhood experiences. My father had a friend that was virtually the same situation. He was a blinded veteran from a landmine in World War II, and I observed him and the different things he did with the wires and how he would move around his property and work his farm. I've watched Howard run alone many times when I was out walking around in my property, as it's right next door, and it's for me, it's an inspiration for me to see what he can do, and it makes me feel good that I can help him get something back that was taken away from him.
While Howard has inspired people from far and wide, it was in his own home that the impact was greatest. His family and friends.
Howard and I have been married for 36 years. I have always viewed him as an ordinary man who chooses to do extraordinary things. Over the years, I found there's not much he can't do except drive. and he's been known to do that on occasion. He is the love of my life's partner, and my best friend.
It's taught me that if you think you can do something, and if you put your mind to it, you can definitely achieve it.
I looked over at her and I said, "Tell me something, kid. What's in it for you?" Running with an old guy. And she looked back at me and smiled and she said, "You're my best friend."
My dad, Howard, is really big inspiration, means a lot to me in my life. I'm glad that he's always been there for me and my kids. Truly is a really great person. Very honored to know him. I love him and he's my hero.
You know, hopefully one day I can grow up and be the man he is. You know, he's just very inspirational, and I guess he's never really let me down. So I guess this is a little thing I can do on my behalf to, you know, show my appreciation and love for him.
Dad's influenced my life in many ways. The one thing that I've really learned from Dad is that circumstances don't define you, but the way that you choose to look at them does. And while you can't choose your circumstances, you can always choose your attitude towards them. And he's been an amazing example of perseverance, determination, and courage.
Beautiful baby from the outside in, chase your dreams, but always know the road that'll lead you home again. Go on, take on this old world, but to me, you know you'll always be my little girl.
He's always taught me to be a blessing to others, to live life on purpose, to take inventory of your blessings, to live above your circumstances. He truly is my hero. People use that word lightly, but he truly is my hero. The world is a better place because he's in it.
You know, watching my father grow up as a young man and later as an adult, I finally made a decision to live like my father. And his blind vision really led to my vision, and that's to create an international personal development corporation. The MindWorks Performance Group is a team of experts in the field of personal, professional, and corporate development with a keen focus on human potential and helping others achieve greater results. Our mission is to teach the power of the mind and how we think holds the key to achieving top performance in corporate and individual growth. There really is nothing more rewarding than seeing the light bulb come on inside of someone and empowering them to make the changes they want in their personal or their professional life. If you're ready and you'd like to become aware of your unlimited potential, then we invite you to work with the MindWorks Performance Group.